Anyway,
I love using burgle as a verb.
like the Hamburglar?
Yeah, to burgle something. No one ever uses burgle.
No, they did in like Victorian England.
Yes, I am going to come burgle your pancakes.
Last weekend.
I'm going to burgle your pancakes.
This is probably not an 18 plus show either. This is probably teen friendly.
Yeah, it's whatever.
Yeah.
I can ratchet it up.
Can we? No, we're good. Thank you.
All right.
All right. Episode 63 of the Bite Me podcast. Welcome. My name is Adam West.
I am Cliff Johnson.
I'm the Dylan.
Are you still sick?
It's lingering.
Can it go away?
I wish.
Man, I was sick
Please.
for almost 3 weeks.
Yeah, well,
it was rough.
It's just a dry cough at this point.
It's just a dry heat. Gotcha. Well, I'm glad you're not. Well, I can't finish that statement because then it would be untrue. Anyway, welcome to this episode of the Bite Me podcast. We've already talked about who we are. We've got a lot of news this week. We're going to cover some quick Games Pass and first-party game updates for the Xbox. The Switch has officially outsold the Wii U. We'll talk about that. Battlefront II is not doing nearly as well as it probably should have.
It's pretty good.
It's not doing bad. Just didn't do as well. Microsoft potentially purchasing some companies, maybe. And Overwatch update with Mercy in particular. Heard about that. Some people are happy. Some people are not happy.
Well, you can't please everyone all the time.
Nope.
Something like that.
PUBG, they rolled out an update and nerfed some stuff on the Xbox and a little more balancing act on the PC. And Fortnite gets a cool new mode that only goes for a few more days, I think. But definitely want to talk about it because I might jump in and try it out.
Yeah, you should.
Plus questions from Vinny, Colby, SuperHyperMightyWepaman and Mansocks. Plus some cheap free games. One that I pimped out on my personal
I saw
page.
That.
Yeah. And then my friend Raya in Spokane, she pimped out my post of my post on our stuff, and hopefully more people
Raya.
Stuff. Yes. Plus PlayStation Plus games for the month have been announced, and they're pretty cool.
I'm so excited.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, I don't know
really
why.
excited.
I've already played it, but anyway.
Yeah. But first, we start with what we're playing. Dylan, go.
Me?
Yes.
Oh, man.
Just to prove that there's still some love there for you.
Well, what do I start with? Can I start with Sea of Thieves?
Yeah,
I don't care.
Oh, we should all talk about Sea of Thieves. Why
Can
don't
we
we
just get
why
that
don't we
out
do
of the
that?
way?
Do you want to get out of the way? All right,
think we
cool.
want to get it out of the
Yeah,
way.
good.
Yes, we should all talk about it, especially me, the one who's played it so much.
You played Sea of San Francisco.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he didn't eat any sourdough bread.
I didn't.
Moving
Talk
on
about
to
your
the
stuff.
7 Seas of Thieves and the thieveries and the booty and the doubloons and all the debauchery that us pirate scallywags took part in. It was amazing. I had so much fun playing the Sea of Thieves. I really look forward to what they're going to add to this game. I don't know. It was so it's such a weird game because it's so much about micromanaging a ship and sailing it to your destination with no real mini map or anything.
And it's hard.
It's all about using a map and a compass and a looking glass and wind direction and shifting your sails to move in the proper direction. And then
with almost no the game doesn't say hey, here's the right way to do it. They're just here's a boat.
Yeah, you'll figure it out. And then when you get to the island to find, you either have a riddle or a map with an X on it, and you have to use landmarks or kind of solve the riddle and find what their clues, and then you take paces away from that said clue and then start putting your shovel in the ground. And I had so much fun doing this.
Well, then I think to me, what's really cool too is then you get a chest, and that chest might just be a chest full of something. It also might be a chest you pick up and you instantly become drunk, which you then have to carry drunk back to your ship through shark-infested waters. Or it might be a crying chest,
and it will fill up your boat and sink it if you don't bucket the water out from under.
I found out how to make it stop crying.
Oh, yeah?
You play it a sad song on your accordion.
Oh.
And it stops crying.
Did you just spoiler it for a lot of people?
No.
Do you know one of the best
Do you know what you would never figure out on your own?
That.
So, what we would always when we were finished sailing for the night or the day or how many fortnights maybe
fortnights.
Let's see what he did.
We would. I mean, we obviously just returned all our chests and we got all our doubloons from the massive booty that we took, and then we would go to the bar. The barmaid, and we would drink some grog to, send it off right, play some music and stuff. But then we would drink a little excessively, in the game, and then you get all woozy, and then you start vomiting. But what's awesome is if you pull your bucket out when you're vomiting, you puke in the bucket. And then you have a bucket of puke, and then you can go throw it on the other people in the world.
You can use that as a weapon.
Amazing.
Yeah. It's pretty good. My kid got super drunk and then came on my ship and puked everywhere. It was awesome.
I love
so good.
that you were just able to say that sentence legally.
Improvements that I hope to see is just more interactions in the world. Like,
well, and they said that's a very small vertical slice.
Right.
So what we've played is by no means even close to the full game. They said that this is actually a very small slice. Yeah. So expect that world to be way bigger.
Because a lot of the fun, it would be really fun when you'd actually get an engagement with another ship and have cannon battles like that. It was super fun, like to board other ships and stuff. But other than that, the only other like combat or interactions you have are with sharks when you're swimming between your ships. You're swimming your chest back to the ship. You have skeletons raising out of the ground and fighting you. And
sometimes shooting you with cannons.
And sometimes when you're like, you're sailing away from an island and there's a watchtower with some cannons, they'll fire cannonballs.
You've been shot by skeletons, though, right?
I don't know.
Oh, I've been shot by skeletons.
Can't you just? Is there at any point can you like build a dinghy?
And so that's one of the things that we really hope they add.
I would love to have a little dinghy that you can drop
because
in the
getting
water.
a giant pirate ship close enough to an island that it doesn't take you forever to swim in and back sucks. And you can actually shoot yourself from your boat you can use your cannon to shoot yourself onto the island, but then you have to swim back. So I really hope they add a dinghy where you can, get off and go in safely. Because the number of times we just ran into a sandbar and capsized or stuff. I don't know. Things that I'd like to see, obviously more content. I'd really like them to add a 3-player mode because sometimes it's hard to get 4 people to play, but I often could have gotten 3. And
can you play single?
You can play single and 2. Single and 2 is really hard, though, just because the ships you get are smaller, but it's still really hard to...
Still a lot of tasks to do.
Yep, to do stuff. So it would just be nice to have... I would almost say that 3-player and 4-player would be good. And I would love to have 5-player on the 4-player ship. I think that would actually work really well, too. So, yeah, I had a great time. There was some very emergent gameplay. I only had a problem with it once, but there is a problem with you have to take your treasure back to an outpost to cash it in. And there are a lot of people that would just like outpost snipe, and so they just wait for you to come back and then steal your stuff instead of going to get their own. Right. So I hope that either they kind of put a safe zone around outposts or
I assume there would be like not law enforcement, but there would be, a town wouldn't want scallywags just outlawing their town, right? So I would imagine maybe there's like some NPC law enforcement that might interfere there and say, I'm going to shoot those guys for being scallywags. Yeah, those landlubbers.
I think there's a lot of
things.
Just
really like saying the word scallywag.
Dylan played an entire stream in.
We did all the streams in Pirate.
It was pretty cool.
Captain Vinny Pegleg.
I never got to play with him,
Blondebeard.
but yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it was good. It was real good. So Sea of Thieves is good. The beta ends today, so by the time you hear this, you're out of luck.
When is the game coming
March
out?
20th, I believe.
Okay.
I would not be shocked at all if they do an open beta between now and then, though.
Oh, okay. That'd be fun.
So
Sweet.
It's good.
Dylan, what else you playing?
Oh, man, that's just the beginning, huh?
I know.
Good Lord.
Playing... I got ranked.
Yeah, do you not have a life? What is this? What is all this?
I was sick. Like, that's all I did was just play games. I finished all my placement matches for Season 8 of Overwatch on the Xbox with my buddy, and I went 8-2 and still didn't get placed very well because last season sucked real bad. But me and my buddy were carrying like our team pretty hard through a lot of games. It was funny. You kind of start realizing that when you get ranked low, just play what you're really good at sometimes,
right?
And you just can steamroll the other team instead of really trying to like focus on your team playing together. And as bad as that is, it's like you can try, but when your team just throws just really wacky compositions at you, and you just be like I just started playing like Soldier just because we would never have enough damage, so I would just have to play Soldier and just waste the other team so we could actually win. And it's like, it's kind of, I like playing the other classes. I don't really like being the damage character. I like playing tanks, but you can't just win playing tanks sometimes. Mm-hmm. And Cliff and I talk about this quite often. We get into the discussion of like when is it appropriate to actually like change a character, and shouldn't you be allowed to play the character you want to play? And it's like, yes, of course you can, but if you want to excel at the game, you should probably be kind of open-minded to new characters. And actually, the new developer update from Jeff Kaplan actually highlights this very well, in the same problem, and we'll get into that later. But I found a really interesting game that I played was the character on the other team they were on offense and we were playing defense. And they had a Widowmaker, which is a sniper character, which a lot of times we think snipers on offense isn't always the most appropriate choice. It can work. The Widowmaker was killing us. Like, they got 60 eliminations, whereas I got 30, and I was the top for our team by far. They lost, like, real bad, because they were focused on eliminations. Like, this sniper was doing so well at eliminating us, but they never actually jumped on the objective, because the sniper's not really good at that.
Right.
And it was one of those instances where it's like, that exactly highlights why sometimes mindful composition does matter, and varying up who you play. Just because you're a good Widowmaker player doesn't mean you're going to win games if that's what you're going for, especially in competitive play, which we're playing.
Right.
So it was one of those instances where it became really clear why sometimes people are like, hey, maybe a different composition would help. Not that I'm singling out anyone to say, hey, you should switch, but those are the kind of things that I notice when I play the game. And it's like, you were carrying your team hard, but what you're doing wasn't really helping your team at all, it was a strange situation. I got an opportunity to play Heroes of the Storm with somebody who is a veteran of the game, Josh, who I play games with a lot. He met this guy through some other community, and we jumped into a lobby with him, and that was awesome. We had 5 people. Three of the people, I'd say 2 were more familiar with the game. One person was kind of in the middle, and Josh and I would be the newer players to this game, not necessarily newer to MOBAs. So we understood the mechanics of MOBA, but now we really got to focus on learning how Heroes of the Storm separates itself from those other games and why it's its own thing. And that was just really insightful. I don't know if I'll go into the details of why that is, because again, it's a very, very hardcore audience who plays MOBA, so I don't need to explain to you why the objective-based MOBA that is Heroes of the Storm and the way it plays different to League. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to say it was very insightful, and I learned so much from the game, just asking some questions and like letting him be the shot caller, and he just kind of like would help us decide when to go for objectives, and it made a lot of sense. And then when Josh and I played after that, kind of ourselves, we had a much better idea of what to do, and we were able to kind of carry some games that way. Being newer players is like we knew how to push the objectives, and it was a lot of fun. So
I think finding those veterans that are willing to teach you things, like my brother gave me like an hour of instruction one time of World of Warcraft, which you wouldn't think you'd need, but like it increased my ability to do like battlegrounds and stuff just immeasurably with an hour of training. Finding that person is often huge.
It's like I can understand the game and I can help you kind of understand it better.
Yep.
Just because I always look for those learning experiences.
That's cool.
And I finally had a chance to jump into Total War Warhammer, which again is not something I'm going to get too deep into either, because it's another. I think it's a very challenging game and has a very specific player base. But thank you to Vinny, who gave me this game around Christmas time, I think, when it was on a winter sale. And I'm a huge Warhammer fan, have been for a long, long time. But man, it is cool to play a game like this, because if you know kind of some basic tactics of how like the Persians were defeated by the Athenians in way back when they were outnumbered 500 to 10,000 or whatever it was. It's like those things really work in this game. And that's really cool to be able to use those old like hammer and anvil style tactics where you're putting your shields up front to block the missile fire. And then when the cavalry charges, you counter that with spears, and then you send your cavalry after their siege weapons when they've kind of lost their protection for that. And it's like really old school, like Art of War tactics, and it's neat.
That's really cool.
It has no tutorial whatsoever. Like, it tries to tell you what's going on, but it kind of just throws you into a campaign and was like, hey, here you go. And never have I played a game where it like throws a side quest at you and it's like, you can complete this if you want, and it's like, that's a bad idea if you actually do it. And it's like I had to restart because I went after the side quest, and then I maybe I won the battle, but my army was so weak, and then I had this weak army, and now I don't have resources to make my people happy, and now they're going to start a riot, and now they riot. Now my army splits into two, and I'm fighting myself because they're rioting, and I have to kick them out of my own settlement. And then I'm just like, what am I supposed to do now? And I was just like, I'm starting over because I kind of have a better understanding now, but it's still super challenging the second time around.
Sure.
And yeah, I've been playing a lot of games.
Yeah, you have. Stop getting sick.
And I've been testing the stream out, so I'm trying to get the streaming going here. I've been troubleshooting and just kind of doing an hour here and there just to try to get everything working smooth, and it's been fun too. So trying to do that more. So.
Very nice.
Cool. All right, Cliff, what are you playing?
Let's see.
Other than Sea of Thieves, we already covered that one.
So I'm playing The Vanishing of Ethan Carter. It was a game that the Astronauts, who are the developers, hooked us up with a copy of to review. And it's I actually when I put in for it, like you know, as people that do what we do, we can kind of request games from developers, and I thought it was just a walking sim, and it turns out it's kind of a spooky walking sim. You're a paranormal detective who got a letter from a kid named Ethan Carter saying, hey, some weird things are going on in my town. And initially the detective just thinks like, hey, he's just another fan. And he's actually then he kind of notices that the kid says he can see some things that he shouldn't be able to, things from another dimension, things from, you know, whatever. And so he actually goes to help them. And he gets there and everything's abandoned. And as you explore, you find these dead bodies that, they're everywhere. That you have to, and the weird thing about this game is I kind of looked, and it's supposed to be about 4 hours long, and I got 2 hours into it before I even figured out what I was supposed to be doing. Like, I'd explored everywhere, I'd gone everywhere there to go, and I finally figured out that what you're kind of trying to do with these dead bodies is it's actually like a crime scene. So you have to gather kind of all of the different, like, evidence, you know, so there'll be like a murder weapon, and there'll be, you know, the body, and there'll be this different physical evidence around there that all add up to how this murder happened. And once you do that, you use your like paranormal senses and you touch the body, and it sends out these kind of light things, and they form into different places around the murder, and they all give you like a little tableau of what happened. And then you have to order them, put them in the order you think they happened. And fun. Then once you do that, it gives you the full like walkthrough of this is what happened. And it's, like I said, I thought it was a walking simulator. It turns out it's a walking simulator with like brutal murder. Like the very first one, like a dude beats a guy to death with like a tire iron. Like it was like, oh, Jesus. And, you know, I mean, the body you found didn't have legs. They got cut off by a train. So it's a walking sim that is real bloody, and it has a couple of jump scares. So
I'm good with that.
It's really fun. I've been streaming it on Mixer every day, every morning and every night for the past 3 days. I'm going to say I'm up to like 6 half-hour episodes of it, and I've been posting those to YouTube. Oh, wow. So if you want to see kind of what it is, there's 4 episodes of it on our YouTube channel, and I'm going to drop in another 2 tomorrow. I'll probably beat it in the next day or two. So I'm live streaming it too. So it's really fun, but doesn't hold your hand at all. Like, I have spent so much time just wandering around like, what's next? Because the game literally starts out like, this isn't the adventure game that you're used to. Like, we're not going to hold your hand. And like I told Dylan, they don't hold your hand. They don't push you in a direction. They don't give you like a vague indication that maybe something over there is happening. They just like, go.
Nice.
And yeah, kinda, except I spend a lot of time not knowing what I'm doing. So you spend a lot of time backtracking and a lot of time, like I'm to the point now where I'm just like, show me a guide, because I can't, without just wandering through the forest randomly, I'm never going to figure out how to beat this game. So, it's gorgeous too. It came out in 2014 on the PC, and then they re-released it in 2015 with like an HD update, and then this version on the Xbox is actually HDR 4K compatible. They've added a like walking around mode that doesn't have any of the violently dead people, so you can really just explore.
Okay.
But it's really interesting. It uses a technique that a lot of games are using now, where they actually go out and take like 50 pictures of a rock, and then they use that to create the 3D image, and they literally just take that and put it into the game and model all these different environmental things, and that's how Battlefront 2 was made too. It's really cool, and it looks really good.
And we've got Battlefront news.
Yes, we do.
To talk about.
It's all coming together.
See how we did that?
There's a game, I'm trying to remember what it was. I can't remember, but I wish like all games had where if you're kind of like, what direction should I go? Like, don't make it super obvious, but give me a button or something where I can click it and it shows me a little ghost trail.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of games.
There's a lot of games that do that, but like every game should do that.
Well,
if there's any sort of not linear, like if it's a completely linear game, fine. But if you have to go out of your way and just like click the right thumbstick or something, and it just goes bloop, bloop, bloop off in the direction that I'm supposed to go. And I'm like,
I mean, in the Division, there's a couple of different quests where you have to track down like voice recordings or cell phones or whatever. And when you stand on where the agent was last, you know, you listen to the audio, and then at the end of it, it kind of does this little bloop, bloop, bloop circle thing, and then an arrow points you in a direction. It doesn't tell you where to go; it just sends you in a direction, and you do a little exploring, and you can find it.
The funny thing is when I was probably an hour and a half, 2 hours into this game when I finally figured out how to like solve crime. And at the time I was like, oh, this feels so good. Like I'm so excited that I managed to work out myself how to do this. And it felt like I had a lot of agency, and I was like super excited about it. And that really died real fast when I like solved the 3 crimes I knew about and then didn't know where anything else was and didn't want to like spend hours traipsing through the wood while I chatted to myself on a live stream. Like it was
I was
really
on such a roll, and then it stopped.
Yeah, and then it stopped, and it was like, oh, well, now what? So, the game is really good, and I would very much recommend it to people. But there's definitely some things I don't like about it, and that's kind of what that game could have used a little bit of a like, hey, here's where's next,
right?
So
cool. Well, I'm going to check that out because you said we've got it in our Xbox.
You do.
Yeah. All right, so I beat Super Mario Odyssey and quote-unquote beat.
As in the main
Yeah,
line.
I beat the main quest.
Do we high five?
Woo. You haven't played it, have you?
Yeah.
Oh, have you beaten it?
No.
But
No, I've played.
So good.
It is real good. I just haven't had a lot of time.
Okay.
It's on my list. I'll get to it. I'm trying to get my treadmill working. My treadmill's real broken right now.
Oh.
But I thought I could treadmill in Mario Odyssey at the same time.
That would be interesting to watch. You should actually do
I'll live stream that. You can watch me fall on my head
hilarious.
and die. Yeah.
So I think I've got, and I was wrong. I kept saying, I think I've got 200 moons. I've got like 180.
Sure.
Or something like that. But yeah, I beat it, and I actually beat it while I was on the flight to San Francisco last Friday.
Very
I
nice.
beat it at like 8 a.m., and I had a lot of fun when I beat it, and I was very, very excited, and I think I scared the kid next to me when I beat it. Oh, and then the kingdom that unlocks after you beat it, which was awesome.
Nice.
It's so great. I was like audibly excited.
That's so
and people
cool.
were probably questioning what was going on in my seat. But it was fun.
So I took a flight. Did we talk about the lady that sang Whitney Houston songs were allowed on a flight I was on about 2 years ago? She was wearing headphones and was listening to the Bodyguard soundtrack and singing along. It was amazing. So
was she good?
No. Awful.
Then why did you not stop her?
Well, she was like 6-7 seats behind me, and people kept saying like, ma'am. And she, I'm so sorry. Aww. And then like 30 seconds would go by. I have a video of it on my YouTube page that I will let you all see. It's amazing.
Have to watch that. So I'm actually looking forward to going back through the different kingdoms and actually doing the grind to get all the...
How many moons are there total?
Like
800, 900?
Oh, wow.
900, I want to say?
Yeah, it's 900 something, I think. Or is it 900? Or...
It's a lot.
Algathar in our chat says 999.
Oh, yeah. Algathar is the one who made the donation that got matched during our
you're my new favorite person.
Yeah, thank you, by the way.
Yes, very much.
That match came through, and we kicked ass.
It did.
So I did that, and after I beat that, I realized that I probably would during that trip, and I was going to need something else to play, so I got SteamWorld Dig 2.
What do you think?
So I really like it. However, I'm in the first... mine, and I'm stuck.
Oh.
I'm stuck. I don't know what to do. I don't know where to go. I don't know how to get to the little thing to turn the pneumatic tube on.
Huh.
Oh, you just dig it?
Yeah, that's what I thought, but I can't dig through anything at the moment.
Do you have your Switch here?
No.
We'll figure it out. Bring your Switch tomorrow.
Okay.
I love that game
I know.
so much,
I really,
man.
really like it. I like the finding this and upgrading that and the da-da-da
It's
this.
such a good
and maybe I
Metroidvania.
just need to upgrade my pickaxe. Maybe that's
Could
all
be.
I need to do.
It totally could be.
Because I've
totally
upgraded
could
it
be.
once, and I think maybe I just need to upgrade it one more time.
I love that game so much.
Yes, I like the art style is really cool. Now, is the first game same kind of art style?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yep.
nice.
Yeah,
but it's not as Metroidvania.
No,
is
it's
it?
exactly the same.
Oh,
it's
is
just
it?
smaller. Like it literally. It took the exact same game and just like said, "Oh, we can make that bigger."
Isn't the first one procedurally generated?
Nope.
Oh, I thought one of them was.
No.
Oh, maybe it was SteamWorld Heist.
I don't think so.
SteamWorld Dig was.
The first one?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize.
The second one wasn't.
Second one's not. No, because we
my
were
bad.
talking about that because there's maps out there you can look at and find your way around.
I'm
and
pretty sure.
Whatever.
I don't know. Either way, they're
hearing
both
that.
amazing. And
Yeah, it's a really
go
cool
buy
game.
It's like
It's-
$20.
I think it was on
was
whatever
sale.
Nintendo sale
Nice.
was having last week.
Yeah,
so I grabbed
so
that.
worth it.
Really like it. And then because I like my mobile games and I like my golf games, there's a game called Super Stickman Golf.
Nice.
And it's on iOS and Android, and I'm pretty sure they've got it in the Windows Store.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, I think. And hell, it might even be on Steam too. It's by Noodle Cake Studios, and I just love their name. That was the first thing I saw.
I adore that.
I was like, you've got a golf game and your name is Noodle Cake. I must have you. But it's a cute little physicsy kind of based with power ups and stuff golf game. It's super easy to pick up, easy to put down. You can play for 10 minutes, you can play for 2 hours.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Have
it's
you
a
seen
great time
Golf
suck.
Story?
Seen what?
Golf Story?
I've seen it. I've not played it.
I'm
I
really
heard it's
interested in
really,
that one.
Really interesting.
I hear it's kind of hard though, like the difficulty ramps up, but I love the idea of a golfing role playing game. Like
sure.
that's real cool.
Yeah, I definitely like that. But yeah, if you ever have if you're on a bus, if you're on transit, if you've got 10 minutes to kill and you don't mind playing mobile games, grab a Super Stickman Golf. They're super easy to pick up, like I said, and you can pay into it if you want to. I've never paid a dime for that game, and I've been playing those games for probably 3 or 4 years.
That's fun.
So-
That's super fun. I like it.
Yeah, for sure. Check that out. All right. We have a lot to cover this week. But first of all, thank you for listening on the Mixer. If you're listening to this and you want to join in, just go to mixer.com/bitemepodcast. And every week when we record our show, typically Wednesday afternoons, you can find us in there and you can join in the chat, ask us questions while we do this. We'll talk back sometimes. That's why you might hear me clicking on my keyboard.
Typity. I'm trying to do a live stream every morning at 6:30-ish and another one at 10 at night. So you can catch me twice a day. They're not long. They're usually like a half hour, 45 minutes. So you got to get in there quick. But I'm doing Ethan Carter right now. I'll probably do some Grand Theft Auto after that. I'm just trying to get in there as much as I can. It's not every day. Like sometimes I need to sleep.
The rest of the world does.
That kills my early morning ones. I always do it at night,
Gotcha.
but the early morning ones are a little less all the times.
Cool. And if you're listening on iTunes, make sure you like us, rate us, review us, tell us nice things, and we'll say nice things about you.
Call me
and
pretty.
other people will find our podcast easier.
That's nice.
So, yeah. All right. Are you ready for it?
News!
Nobody was even able to answer. You just jumped in on that.
He
Thank
wasn't
you.
even looking. That was
Nope.
the impressive part.
He knew it was up.
Yeah, good job, man.
I was purposefully not looking so you wouldn't be ready. And I
Nice.
could surprise
I
you.
love it.
Surprise.
Surprise!
All right, so lots of news to cover this week. Let's start it off with a quick Game Pass and first-party game update. Go.
Yeah, so mostly we talked last week about all first-party Xbox games are going to come to Game Pass, which is a great way to get Sea of Thieves and Crackdown and State of Decay for $10 a month. The initial concern is what happens if those games go out, because Game Pass does pull games out of Game Pass and then adds new ones. Microsoft confirmed that no first-party game will get pulled from it, so they're in there.
sweet.
They're in there forever.
I am officially sold on Xbox Game Pass.
100%. There's
Period.
no way that I will not be buying this
Yeah.
come March. I might buy it in February. Who knows?
That's awesome. So, State of Decay 2, Crackdown 3, Sea of Thieves, all $60 a piece first-party games.
All this year. And there might be a Forza game this year.
And that's fine.
Potentially.
And maybe a Halo game.
And you know what also is a first-party?
Ori and the Will of the Wisps.
There you go.
Oh, crap.
Yeah.
I'm buying it.
But that'll also mean that, eventually when the, I don't know if I guess that's first party. The new Fable game will be there.
What about,
Halo, Gears of War.
So if PUBG is being published by them,
it's not an exclusive. It's not first party. It's a.
Yeah, I know. It's just that'd be interesting.
There are. Well, we'll talk about.
Yeah,
we'll talk about that in a minute.
So
one hot minute.
If you own an Xbox and you like playing games, this is
$10 a month.
This is the best thing. This is literally the best thing ever.
Yeah.
This is the best.
I mean, it's kind of one of those things where,
best thing ever.
Like 12-year-old Cliff would have murdered for this to have 100 and something games that I could play anytime I wanted, without having to go out and buy games, without having to go out and rent games. This is the kind of thing where you could buy your kid an Xbox and buy them Games Pass, and
be done with it.
They'd be pretty happy. You know.
So what happens then? Like, when what do you do when you get so sucked into playing games on Games Pass you start not paying attention to what's coming out?
Yeah, right.
Like, what happens?
Yeah, I don't know.
And maybe that's what they're banking on, and that also could play
Netflix.
into the rest of it.
Yeah, I think
the rest of the world passes you by.
This is the future, man. Like, this is the way games are going to go. When you look at it, this is what they're doing. It's kind of what EA is doing.
Mm-hmm. I'm more interested in this still when we're in the future, because I still don't think I'm subscribing to this.
You're a silly, strange man.
There is inherent value in it, but I still don't think I consume games the way that I will actually get the $120 value every year. Like, I don't think so.
So you're going to play Sea of Thieves. You're going to buy Sea of Thieves.
Yeah, that might be
He's already pre-ordered it.
Okay.
That might
Crackdown
be
3?
it. Maybe.
Really?
But if you had it for $10 a month, man, you'd play it.
Would I though?
Yeah,
it's like
you would.
the thing is, I have new games in the plastic on my shelf.
Oh yeah, okay,
I do too.
Yeah.
You have 600 games in your library. Have you played all of them?
Duh.
It's like
700
I
games.
can give them $120 a year, really easily. Like, that's not a problem. But am I actually going to use it?
Yeah.
If you play 2 first-party games to completion, yes.
Day one. If I do day one, then it's a value. If I wait until they're half price, then it's not.
Okay.
If I don't play them day one, then you're not actually getting a $60 value out of it.
Yeah, I don't know. There's just no. I guess the thing is it only assumes that you're only going to play those 2 games. And to me, like, once you get it, it opens up a huge world of other games that are available. To me, the cost is so low. I think the thing is, if it was $15 a month, I'd be like, I don't know. But for 10, like 10's like a coffee and a half. It's,
right. And that's the dangerous part of it, is it's so easy to give them $120 a year.
Yeah,
it's very easy.
Dangerous.
That's
on
really
top of the
amazing.
Xbox Live already, which is $60. So it's very easy to give them that, and it's really not a big chunk of change. But am I actually going to use it? I don't think so.
think you
of it as
underestimate
supporting.
yourself.
No, I don't think so. I
Think
think
of it as supporting Microsoft. You're being helpful.
And I have no problem with that either, but I'm saying I would probably pay for it for a year, and I probably wouldn't use it for a year. I might use it for a month out of a year.
Whenever you say think of
And in
supporting
that case-
Microsoft, Algathar has, a little happy moment.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
That's real good.
No, I'm all about that. Like, I'm giving Mixer the $6 a month or $8 a month to be a pro. Like, I'm testing that
what?
out. So yeah, you can be a little pro subscriber. So you give Mixer a month, and you get a little purple name, and
What does that get you?
it's easier to see who subscribes for $8 a month.
But does that
Mixer.
get you anything?
You get like faster support and no ads. I don't know. But I'm trying
you
to.
bought blindly.
It doesn't even know what it
testing it
does.
out. I'm testing it out.
Right.
And it's like, I don't have a problem doing that. I'm saying if I do a monthly subscription to Game Pass, I'm probably seriously going to use it for maybe 1 or 2 months. And in that case, maybe I'll just subscribe for 1 or 2 months and then cancel it.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to use it again after I find out I just wasted $20 and actually didn't use it for 2 months.
Well, I think that's
Because I paid for EA Access and I still haven't used it but one time when I initially got it.
Why haven't you done it? There's so many damn good games on EA Access.
Because I have so many damn good games already, and I play
it's because
those
you waste
a
too much
lot.
time
I
playing
am
PUBG.
enjoying watching you two.
He's wasting too much time
No,
playing
but how
PUBG.
much money did I get out of the $30 for PUBG when I've played it for over 100 hours? Like,
He's
that's
wasting
not
time.
wasting. That's not. I got dang good value because that
You're
starts
wasting
breaking down
time when
into
you could've
pennies
been-
per minute instead of like dollars per hour. I don't know.
He's wasting time when he could have been playing fun games on EA Access. That's
I'm
what I
having
said.
fun.
PUBG's awesome.
Like, I
It
have
is really
fun.
good. It's really
But
good.
The thing is, like,
Search the PUBG.
you can have one game and have just as much fun as having 10 games.
Yeah,
You
but
can
I
have
like
a
having 10.
You like having a
games.
variety of fun. Like, I can't play that many games.
I can't
I understand that. Like, I can't.
I can play that many
It's
games.
impossible.
Okay.
Anyway,
Are y'all good?
I'm good.
Y'all good. Okay, so moving on. Across town here in Seattle, we will talk about Nintendo news.
Oh,
Yeah. The Switch has officially outsold the Wii U, which was not
In 10 months.
Well, yeah, no.
That's what I heard. 10 months.
It took Switch 10 months to surpass the Wii U. That's what the article says.
That's what
Okay.
Literally
Then that's
what it
fine.
says.
Like,
'Cause it's 10 months into its life.
And Per Schneider, like the dude who runs
Yeah, yeah.
IGN, said it was 9 months. So I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Regardless, the Switch just outsold the Wii U. It doesn't matter what the timeline is. It was within a year.
Yeah, it's
And
crazy.
it outsold the, 4-year lifespan of the Wii U in a year?
It's nuts.
Which is awesome. If you haven't heard of the Switch, I don't know who you are. It's Nintendo's newest little hybrid home portable console. It's amazing.
What's interesting to me, though, like that's great.
Yeah.
But what's interesting to me is that Super Mario Odyssey has outsold Zelda.
Really?
Yeah.
How does that happen?
Yeah, Zelda.
Mario's just a bigger name.
Yeah, and I think it's probably got a wider appeal.
I would have predicted.
Yeah, yeah. No.
Wider appeal, yeah.
Let's see.
So
They sold 7.23 million in the last quarter of the year.
Switches?
Switches. Isn't that
Is that a lot?
crazy? What?
Is that a lot?
Is 7 million a lot?
Well, I mean, out of 14 million, they sold half of the Switches
wow,
they've
okay.
sold in the
Well,
last
they actually had them?
3 months.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Yeah, so Super Mario Odyssey has sold 9 million copies of the game. So, I mean, that attach rate's what? More than 75%, right?
Roughly.
No, it's almost, well, no, it's about 70%.
How many?
9 out of 14, essentially. So 60%, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
Mario Kart Deluxe has also outsold Zelda at 7.33 million, and Zelda has sold 6.7 million.
What I find funny is Mario Kart Deluxe, 8 Deluxe sold more than Zelda.
Yeah. I mean, wider
again,
appeal, too.
it's-
I mean,
yeah.
people love, I like Mario Kart. I enjoy it. It's fun.
Oh, it's
I
a
don't.
great game.
Yeah, to me, it's fun. It's not like something I like. Like when my kid wants to play Mario Kart, I'm sure, but it's nothing I've ever sat down and thought I'm going to beat Mario Kart. It's just not my
I think
my
it
jam.
literally appeals to everybody.
Yeah.
Though.
But I
Everybody
think it's a
can
great
play
party
Mario
game.
Kart.
Yeah.
Everyone will have fun playing Mario Kart.
Because how many players can you do local split screen for?
4, and then I think you can.
And then you can do
Can you go
online
up
stuff.
to 8
You can go up to 8.
Like
if you-
local?
if you have 2
like,
switches?
If you have two switches.
what? Oh, that'd be fun. It's because we've played it once in a while over at our friend Victor and Tony's house, and just watching people sit around the room in this giant TV, and and it's funny because he's got like a 75-inch TV. So when you cut that into fourths,
Still pretty big.
you still got
Still
like
a
what
30-inch
like
TV.
30-inch TV.
No, it's bigger than that.
Yeah,
it's almost a 42-inch TV.
That's crazy. So
Yeah.
just watching everybody play basically on their own little 42-inch TV, 4-player split screen is great. And of course, Kevin always wins, or Victor always wins.
They have to.
It's
I think that's actually one of the things I dislike most about that game, though, is...
well, they're just good.
And it has nothing to do with anyone good. I find it really annoying that I'm also very good at it. And it really, I hate losing to like a blue shell. I hate that the people behind you can, without, like, it's not their skill that's winning. It's the randomness of the draw of, what you
Nintendo
get.
patched that up.
Did they? And I haven't played it. I haven't
just into
actually-
the first few months of it, to where the blue shell not necessarily will go after the first place. That they'll sometimes hit the second or third. And,
interesting.
That's
and
nice.
also, I want to say that they patched it out too, that the second person in second place can't get a blue shell.
Oh, see, and that's awesome because I have not
pretty
played it.
sure.
I own it on the Switch. My kid got it for Christmas, I want to say. I haven't played it yet. But I used to play it on the Wii U all the time. So that's nice because that's one of the things I hate most about that game. I think it's extremely unfair.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
yeah,
just
yeah.
blow them away so much that a blue shell won't put me in second.
I'm so
You gotta
glad
learn
you
that.
think
You
you're
gotta
that
learn
good.
that drifting and boosting, man. Once you have that down,
Once you do,
it
and I
changes
still
the game.
like
You just
years
smoke
into
everybody.
years into that franchise, I still don't have it down.
Yeah.
Like I've got it okay.
Yeah.
I can get by, but I usually end up.
I mean,
in
you're
last
drifting
place.
90% or more of the time you're driving in that
That's
game
crazy.
Interesting.
to win. Like because that's how you charge your boost. You gotta be drifting all the time.
So anyway, with that, the Switch officially outselling the Wii U. You know it has not sold nearly as well as they thought it would. Battlefront 2.
Yeah, and I mean, granted,
still sold well.
this game still outsold Mario Odyssey. So it didn't sell as well as they would have liked to, but it still sold 9 million copies, and they still expect it to sell another 1 to 3 million throughout the rest of 2018. So yes, that game didn't sell as well as they wanted it to. They wanted it to sell 10 million, and it only sold 9 million. But, all things considered, that's still like, what, 50 $5.4 billion. Is that right?
So if you consider when it was on sale.
Yeah, whatever.
So $36 billion.
Yeah.
So I put it on sale for $45 to average it all out. So $36 billion.
36 or 3.6.
Maybe it's 3.6. 100.
I don't know. Whatever. It's still lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of money.
Yeah. Numbers.
Big numbers. So
more numbers than I have fingers.
The kind of takeaway from that is that, yeah, it didn't sell as well as they wanted it to. And they're mostly saying it's because of kind of the microtransaction kerfluffle right when it launched. Obviously, I don't think anyone doesn't think that's the problem. No. But the interesting thing is that EA is like, that we recognize that it had to do with that microtransaction kerfluffle. And by the way, microtransactions are coming back at some point in the future. So
as they should.
Yeah, I mean,
there's no way that the world should have uproared as bad as it did.
Yeah.
But
I think that the game balance was far more important than the microtransaction problem.
It wasn't a microtransaction problem. It was a grind issue.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, it was a grind issue, but you could pay to unlock.
Right, but that's really not a microtransaction problem. That's just
it's modern video game.
That's just bad design. Like you should not have to grind that long for anything.
Oh yeah,
when it's not really
a grindy game.
Right. Yeah. Like there's no reason to not be able to play as this character without playing for 300 hours. Like that's just silly. Like that's not a matter of wanting to spend $5 or not to me.
Yeah. It's real fun though. I played through all the single player. The single player was the story was a little stunted. Like that was a game that had a 6-hour story that I think could have used like a 10-hour story. Like that game needed a little room to breathe. But it was really fun. What I've played in the multiplayer has been very enjoyable. It's probably one of the best looking games I've ever played. It's absolutely stunningly gorgeous. And 9 million copies isn't something to sneeze at.
Or cough at.
Or cough at. Whatever you want to do. Whatever body thing you want to do.
Sneeze and cough and burp and fart all at the same time.
I don't want to be in the same room.
And it might make me vomit. I don't know.
Just give us a heads up. I'll walk outside and we'll come back when you're done.
It's funny that they say we'll do it when we think it's ready when they talk about bringing the microtransactions
It's a good time to bring back microtransactions, right?
I don't think anybody thinks it's a good time.
No.
But at the same time, I know they got to make
whatever.
It's a thing. All right, so there is that. Let's talk about this news about Microsoft possibly purchasing a company out there, either EA or Valve, or maybe both, or they've got money.
Also PUBG Core.
PUBG too.
Are they thinking about buying that?
They are.
Oh, that's right. I remember reading that.
How awesome would that be, though, to just... I mean, obviously PUBG has the money now because they've surpassed both Overwatch and what was the other one? Overwatch and CSGO sales for the past year.
Yeah, I mean, surpassing CSGO sales is,
Right, but I have no idea why the article was written that way, but I read an article. It was like, Overwatch and Counter-Strike sales combined, PUBG broke that.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know what that means, but it was a lot.
Like it's 3%.
It's a lot of money. Just PUBG surpassing Overwatch sales is a fine article. I don't know why they had to incorporate it to say this is still less than.
Yeah.
It's like...
when that news first broke, I'm like, there's no way Microsoft could buy EA, right? And then I kind of looked into it, and Microsoft currently has a market capitalization of about $750 billion. EA's is about $35 billion. So... Microsoft could pay cash for EA, and Valve only has a market cap. It's a private company, so they don't actually have to release that information. But $3 or $4 billion, so no problem at all. But the interesting thing is everyone. All the news I've read about this is, I hope Microsoft buys EA and then makes all of their games. Could you imagine if Madden was console exclusive or if Anthem was console exclusive?
They would never do that.
And I'm like, why would you do that when instead you could say, hey, we're going to put Anthem on the PlayStation 4 and every single copy that gets sold, we get a huge chunk of.
Right.
It would be awesome.
Sell more games and make more money.
Instead, what I would love to see is, hey, we're putting out Anthem, and because the Xbox One X is the most powerful console on the planet right now, it's going to look good, and it's going to look so much better on the Xbox One X than it does the PlayStation 4 because we're going to pay to make sure that game looks good. And fine, timed exclusive, whatever. I don't want to see Microsoft get in there and say
stranglehold. The market.
I don't think
anything.
They would do that.
No, I don't think so either.
I
don't think that would ever be their plan. But I would love to see them buy EA or Valve. Like, that would be absolutely incredible. And Valve, they probably almost share an office already. Their Valve is in Bellevue. And
is it really?
Yeah.
Oh, didn't know that.
And Microsoft has offices in Bellevue, and then all the rest of their offices are in Redmond.
Yeah.
So they're neighbors. And I mean.
What do you think?
Gabe Newell owns 50% of Valve. He could sell a majority share in Valve himself.
So, what do you think that could possibly mean if, let's say, they buy EA, and then you've got games like what is Anthem one of the games?
Anthem. I mean, think about
these games that have all these online multiplayer elements. What do you think Microsoft buying EA could possibly do to push further out or to further the whole discussion for console? Like crossplay.
Do
you think that could do any? Do you think they would?
Well, I think it gives them more power in it, but I mean, unfortunately, the power really, really rests with PlayStation.
What I think it does more than pushing the crossplay envelope is it's like pushing the play nice envelope, where they're like, we're gamer centric, because they're doing that very almost heavy handedly these days, which is awesome because I don't care how heavy handed it is because it's what we want, because it's like it makes gaming better for gamers. And what that does is just saying like, hey, Xbox is the better place to be. It's pretty obvious.
That's actually real smart.
That's what turns into, okay, now crossplay is going to happen because...
God, why does it have to become such a pissing match? Why can't they just do it?
Yeah. Well, it's one person pissing. It's not... It's a one-person pissing contest. It's who can piss at yourself harder in the mirror. I don't know. Like, it's...
this conversation took a turn.
But that's... I mean, to me, that's what the end result could be. It's like, it's doing the right thing for the right reason, and then... hopefully that in turn changes the landscape in the future because you made the right choice.
Yeah. Like, could you imagine, too, what would happen if all of a sudden Microsoft buys EA and every game that's in EA All Access gets dumped into Games Pass? And
then it's worth it.
Every first... Well, think about this, though. Well, except you said you don't play any of the games in EA All Access, so is it?
Okay, I left one thing out of that argument is, like, I have too many subscriptions. I don't want this many subscriptions. I don't want to subscribe to everything unless everything in life is subscription-based. Then I'll just do
give it 2 weeks, man.
Like, I want a lunch subscription. That's what I really want. I want, like, Jimmy John's to come deliver something every day for $10 a month. I get a sandwich every day.
Jimmy John's.
I kind of endorse Jimmy John's. They're pretty good.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, all right.
Okay, that's that.
But they're delicious.
Anyway, we're talking about video games. So that's interesting news. Yeah, we heard about it this week. When do we think... do you think anybody's going to even comment publicly on this?
No, God, no.
Come on. Turds.
Either way, though, to me, like, it doesn't matter which is... Like, the PUBG stuff means nothing to me. Like, that's the least one I'd like to see them buy. Like, that's cool, I guess. That would be a cool exclusive, but whatever. But, like, buying Valve and all of a sudden having the Windows Store replaced with the Valve Store would be amazing. And
you know what, though? The Windows Store, I think, is set up way better than the Valve Store.
I think you're the only person in the entire world who thinks that.
I think they both have...
Oh, yeah. Everyone hates the Windows Store. Like,
Steam is a pain.
Why?
I don't know. Like, it's just not very... I don't think it's very
Steam. So Steam, Valve, if you're listening, please put the wish list somewhere that's not buried in, like, my library, because my wish list is not my library. Those things are different.
It's every time I go to their homepage, I'm like, it's here somewhere.
Like, why can't I just have a wish list tab? Where is it? Where is it? It's in my library. No, those aren't ghost books in my library. Like, they're like out somewhere else. They're in the store. Why is wish list not in the store?
All right, so moving along, Overwatch update, popular community topics. You take this one.
So
I don't understand.
Me either.
The new developer update is called Popular Community Topics, and that's the things like, I mean, the things that commonly come up, like all the complaints, like what's this Hanzo main shenanigans? Like, what is this really? And so, like, they're like, we hear all the complaints about Hanzo. We understand he's inconsistent. We're looking at changing his scatter arrow ability, which is like the craziest ability because it just shoots a bunch of arrows out and they bounce off of everything and they randomly will kill you. And it's like, how does that even work? It's like, it's very hard to understand and it sucks when you're like playing Orisa and you have this big shield and you're this big 4-legged centaur behemoth, and then a random scatter arrow from Hanzo comes up, hits you under, and you just die. And it's like, it's very hard
so
to...
one hit?
Yeah, it's like very hard to explain because it's like there's multiple arrows and I don't know if they crit or I don't know what they do, but it's like this ability is just hard to... I think it's just hard to really see what's going on with it. And it's so inconsistent. Like, it'd be fine if it was consistent and you knew, like, okay, the scatter arrow does this much damage. But it seems like because there's multiple arrows, it's just really hard to track what's going on. At least that's how I see it.
Sure.
So they're looking at how do we change that ability. And then they go on to talk about, I mean, I think the toxicity and the banning is usual. And I think we saw that they've been headhunting YouTube clips. Like, if they find evidence of toxicity, like video evidence, they're like banning those players. Like,
that's awesome.
That's awesome. And then people like
how great would it be to have that job as somebody who sits there and just like watches YouTube all day, watches Overwatch videos all day, and just every single time you hear somebody be a turd.
Yeah.
I'm just saying how many times I can say that on the show. Like, just be a turd. They get to be like, I'm going to ban them. They find them, they ban them. How satisfying of a job must that be?
Yeah. And again, this is something, don't read the comments on this, because I think it's great that they're like, people took this the wrong way. They're like, if someone is toxic in a thread on a forum, like, people weren't grasping that they're looking at YouTube clips of people being toxic.
Yeah.
It's not people typing some weird, like, profane message in a message board. It's like, no, they're looking at players being a-holes online, like verbally to other players, and they're removing those players. They're not like being the thought police on social media. Like, they said social media because YouTube is in fact social media.
Yeah. And
there's videos on Twitter, there's videos on YouTube, there's videos on Facebook. Videos are everywhere now. That's what they're looking at. They're not looking at the words someone writes on a tweet. Like, that's not. So those things need to be separated. And it was frustrating to read that.
Dylan and I were kind of like taking this to its logical conclusion, though, where, because we talk about toxicity in Overwatch a lot. Dylan and I actually talk about Overwatch a lot, which is really weird because I don't play it at all.
Yeah.
But like the next step in fixing this toxicity problem to me, and we talked about it, is that AI is getting to the point where you can literally, transcribe stuff happening in near real time. And so it makes sense to me that, like the next step of this is they go out and they hook into Twitch streams, they hook into Mixer streams of people playing Overwatch and just are transcribing what they're saying. And if we, hear certain phrases or we hear certain stuff, that gets flagged for review and those people get nuked. We start searching for YouTube videos. And, now it's to the point where we don't need people to report it. We don't need these people we hire to go out and look for it. It literally reports itself, and we can clean up our community way faster because we can search hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of streams a day.
But are people like live streams on YouTube? Oh, okay. Yeah. I didn't even think of that. Why
they're
would
saying,
people
they're saying archive streams. People are archiving them being awful on YouTube.
Yeah, I'm like, why would you save that? I mean, don't get me wrong.
That's
maybe
what they're
you got
searching
killed,
right
maybe
now.
You got something, maybe you made a badass.
The sad thing is that there is a market for that. Some people like watching those streamers that just rip on people and just troll so hard.
Yep.
So it's like there's an audience for that, and that's fine. Like, in a way, that's fine. Like, because that is comical to some way, but when it affects the other players, that's why it's a problem. It's not because you're entertaining this crowd by doing a horrible thing. It's like there's other people on the receiving end of that, and that's just not. That's not.
I just wonder how long it'll be
game.
before a streamer can push a button that says, "Hey, I'm being mobbed. Hey, I'm being trolled. Hey, there's abusive people in my chat."
Boom, pops in.
An AI pops in and says, "Yep, yep, yep," and just goes bam, bam, bam.
Right.
Throws them out.
Now, how fun would it be though? Because you did point out the entertainment value of that type of stuff, if that's your shtick.
Right.
How fun would it be? Like, how many people are on a team in Overwatch?
6 on 6.
Okay, so you come up with 6 people, and once a week, you put on a 2-hour show where you're just
the worst.
You're just the worst.
Like that restaurant in California that just gives you
where
terrible
they just treat
service.
You like crap.
Yeah. You can go there for that. Like, I would love to be the person. Like, I would love to be that just terrible person for you to be entertained by, but I'm not going to do that to other people.
No.
That's
I
the thing.
Be your
it's
MC
like,
for that.
But like, I think that's smart.
We should do that. Make some money. Oh
but
my God.
I think we had this other interesting idea that I pitched to Cliff where, what if, I'm just going to call him the Black Watch for now because it's all Overwatchy, right? But what if Overwatch comes out and tells us, hey, we're going to be in the games with you guys. and if you suck, we're just going to ban you.
If you suck?
If you're an evil, terrible person, we're just going to ban you.
I'm sure I would suck terribly.
We're there.
Okay.
Whether they're lying or telling the truth or not, would people stop?
All they'd have to do is ban people occasionally and say, "Oh yeah, we were in that game,"
right?
And you'd always. I mean, the thing is that's the reality when you think about it. Like, part of the reason people don't speed is because there's the chance. There's a tiny chance. I mean, how many?
You can speed 90% of the time, and you'll never get caught.
Yeah,
but
I mean, that's the reality. Is that how often do you actually see a cop? Very, very rarely.
How many people? Maybe once a day because I'm constantly going down the freeway.
You're talking to the guy who got 3 tickets literally in a year.
Yeah.
Slow down, Adam.
I wasn't driving like a crazy person.
Stop driving drunk.
They never are.
Adam does not drive drunk.
I do not drive drunk.
But you know what I mean? Like, that's why that system works. It's because there's the threat that you can pass a cop at any time. And if there was a threat that at any time you could be playing with a community watch person who's going to, nail you because you're being abusive, you don't have to have a lot of them. If you had enough that they were playing in 1% of games or half a percent of games.
Yeah. And it doesn't even have to be real. Just if a video popped up before you played, like a little pre-roll ad before you played Overwatch, and it's like, hey, we're in here with you.
Yeah.
We're going to ban you. No one wants to be banned from a game. That's not, why would you want that? No one wants that. Some people want to troll, but do you want to get banned? If you want to troll and get banned, fine. You're banned. Now go troll another game, and eventually you're going to have no games.
Yep.
And that's fine. But that's interesting. But the last Mercy gets nerfed again. People are very upset. They're like, I'm going to uninstall because they keep screwing with my Mercy. But she is the most played character by far. More people play Mercy than any other character in every game. It's because she's powerful. And it's like, in reality, you would think that every character would get equal play if everything was perfect, right?
Yeah, how can she be the most played?
Because she's literally in every game. There's 24 characters or so, and she's in every single game. Not literally, but like more often than any other character, she will be in a game, sometimes one on each team.
Gotcha.
So, and that does present a problem. Like that should, if a character isn't played at all, or if a character's always played, that means something is not perfect with that character, right? I mean, some characters are going to be played a little bit more than others, and they have more specialized skills. But she's played more than anything else. So it's like, there's a reason for that. And it's because rezzing is very powerful ability. We don't need to talk about this too much more, but that's kind of what he says in this is like, she's played more than anyone else. Junkrat's another one who just got a little bit of a nerf to his concussion mine. It used to just do however much damage in its area of effect. And now there's some damage fall off, for example.
Sure.
So it's not that they took that ability away from it. Now you have to just be a little more accurate with it because it doesn't just do 200 damage in its area of effect. It falls off from the where the blast happens. So little tweaks like that, and it's like, so now I think they changed the cooldown on the res. It's a little bit slower or whatever. Or no, they changed the ult, so now she can't res 2 at a time. It's just it decreases the cooldown.
Sure.
So just kind of reeling back, and I think that is important because rezzing it's powerful to have a numbers advantage like that. So
for sure.
But the last topic that I really enjoyed his conversation because it highlighted very much what I think Cliff and I talk about a lot with Overwatch and the characters that you want to play, but the characters that maybe you shouldn't play this game. And he kind of said what I've been kind of figuring out in my head, and he said, I mean, they take a lot of pride in making these characters, right? And so if they make a character that is designed for a specific reason to do something really well, and that means that they are a very defensive character or something, and they have this really cool kit that does something really cool, why should they have to change that character because it doesn't play well somewhere else? It's like not every character is perfect for every situation, and that's kind of what's cool about the game is there's this really cool character like Symmetra who has these turrets and a teleporter, and it's like she's not going to maybe be the best siege artist, and that's not Blizzard's fault. That's not Overwatch's fault for having this highly defensive character that just doesn't work as a breacher. Like, that's not what she does. So why should they change that character?
Counterpoint, then she should not be available in that level.
No, but she plays on defense on that level.
That's fine. Then she shouldn't be available on offense.
No, I don't think that's.
We have this conversation constantly.
Yeah, but
I've never played Overwatch, so I'm like, I have no idea what you guys are talking about.
But that's still the player's choice. It's like, it's not about who's available or not. It's like, you can't blame them for having someone that does something really, like, they designed this character to do this thing.
See, and
if you want to throw that against a wall that it's just not going to break through, that's your fault, and you're not helping your team, though.
To me, like, the argument is, we made this character so she works really great for these things, and then we made her available everywhere. And man, people are pissed about it. Like, it's super easy to solve. We made this character that is super made for this thing. Don't make her available everywhere else.
But that's putting responsibility on Overwatch and not the players.
Yeah, which is fine.
Players,
because
if you're going to play ranked competitive play, you shouldn't be playing to be your worst.
I think the thing
you
is
should learn the game and excel at
then
playing
don't
as
make
a
her
team.
then don't make her available in non-competitive, so players learn where she's available, she should be used and she wouldn't. And then if when you get to competitive, you're good enough for that character to make that weird meta play. Great,
but you should still be allowed to try. But the thing is that blocks the fact that you can do these weird strategies, like Pirate Ship. All of a sudden, people started playing Bastion and Orisa, two very defensive characters, on attack because they have a moving payload. They can put Bastion on it. They can put a shield. So now we can play Bastion on that level, but not this level on attack. And let's see, you should not be selecting.
I guess the thing is then
maps.
it doesn't. Then you don't have people. It solves so much of your toxicity problem.
People are the toxicity problem.
That's what I'm saying. People are the toxicity problem, and it's caused by meta choices that Blizzard has made. Anyways, we do this about 2 hours a week. We'll just live stream it there from now on.
It's player choice 100%. There is nothing that is Overwatch's fault.
I think it's the only thing that Dylan and I disagree on.
If someone wants to play a game at a high level and people just want to play their one character that's just not helping, like, to me, that's that player's problem. I can't help that player help my team.
You know what? Who can help that, though? Blizzard.
No, because
God.
All right, we'll stop now.
Well, do you honestly think that they should just say you can't play that character on this level?
Obviously.
Like, that seems so bizarre to me. Like, I would never stop someone from playing, but I want to encourage them to make the right choice. And that's what he's saying in his video. Encourage you to be a more varied player. Expand, learn the other characters so you can be better at the game. I'm not going to
expand, learn the other characters. Don't play that one.
Well, because he's not good at it. Like,
but he's still
it doesn't
available,
matter.
Don't worry.
I played against a Widowmaker who got 60 eliminations and they lost. They lost a competitive match by a lot because they tried to play something that was highly specialized. It just didn't work in their situation. And it's like, they shouldn't be gated from doing that. They could have done something with that, but they didn't. Like, you can play any character in any situation. You shouldn't be gated from doing that. It's saying, learn the game, be better at it. Come up with new strategies. If you want to play that character and come up with a cool new strategy and that shifts the meta, that's what you want. You want people to make those weird choices that shift the meta. That's what's cool about these games. It's not saying you can't play this character. It's saying, if you want to and you can change the game, do it. But, man, you have 5 other players that might want to do something else. So what you say shouldn't... I mean, majority rules.
Yeah,
kinda.
Okay, I agree with.
If 5 players want to do this strategy and you don't, you're kind of the odd man out there.
I don't know
so that's why I don't see that side of the argument where you just ban those characters.
Counterpoint: Dylan's wrong. Anyway,
oh
Fortnite?
My goodness, no, not yet. So
PUBG.
Yeah. So, Dylan,
what
would you like to take this one? PUBG.
Vehicles got nerfed on Xbox because
they're too powerful.
They're really dumb.
Well, yeah.
Because people suck on shooting on a controller, so they had to nerf the damage vehicles do and made them less...
damagey?
Basically have less health.
Yeah.
So essentially now your strategy is just to blow up the vehicle.
Which is the stupidest thing
I've heard that they're actually thinking about nerfing them again because they're still... I have not played enough endgame Xbox to know, but Dustin Legary from IGN was saying today that like top 10 on most PUBG Xbox matches, 5 of those people have vehicles.
That's crazy.
Yeah, no, that's how
the strategy is literally just to drive around.
I haven't played on Xbox a lot, but that was literally how it was. It was just a bunch of people driving around in UAZs, and I was like, well, this is stupid. Like, it's weird. Like, that's not what this game is at all.
No. Yeah, and so I need to get back on there and play it. I just had a hard time aiming, which I guess I didn't realize how hard that would be coming back from because I always preferred playing games, including like first-person shooters or whatever, like on my PS4 because that's where I learned how to play them. So I just got used to it.
I definitely prefer control. I understand why mouse and keyboard is master race better.
Yeah, I totally
don't like it.
I don't like it.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel good.
No.
A mouse and keyboard is not ergonomic. It does not feel good to play. It is not really intuitive either.
Yeah.
Like moving your arrow around a screen and clicking is not really like moving joysticks.
I just think it's
with
so
your
funny
body.
though, because like when I went from like old school mouse and keyboard over to controller, I was like, my controller, like I wish I had a video of me playing Halo for the first time in like 2001, because it was literally like me shooting the ceiling, me shooting the floor, me shooting the ceiling, me shooting the floor.
Yeah.
It was so hard. But now it's how I want to play every game.
Yeah.
Like I know that makes me an awful PC user, but
Meh.
No, but like, I mean, especially with the advances in controllers. Like, we had the Xbox Elite controller, which just feels so good, and it feels good to play, and it feels good in your hands. It's responsive. You're not locked into this position.
Yeah.
With your mouse and keyboard, like. I wish you could just get everyone to play with a controller so it'd be fair. Like, I understand why I lose to you. Like, I tried to play Fortnite with a controller on my PC just to try it out because I could just go play it on my Xbox with the other people that play controllers, but I didn't want to for whatever reason. And, I was just getting smoked. Like, there's
you can't do
chance.
it. Yeah.
But it felt better. Like, it's a controller. It's nice.
So now also, so you play both PC and Xbox or just PC?
Yes, I've played.
Okay,
all the
so evidently the rollout for the patch on PC is adding more buildings and cover across the Miramar map.
Yes.
Okay.
And I think that was one of the big problems with this map is it's so open. It's a desert, right?
Yeah.
And it just stunk in those firefights where you're going to get caught. And this is not fun. It's like we understand the map's the same for everybody, so it's not like you're disadvantaged. It just makes it not fun when you're just caught in this open desert. So I think they're just adding more stuff, more texture to the environment. So it's like you have something to hide behind, whether that's a rock or a crate or whatever, and just stuff like that. And I think that's smart. Like, I love the city parts of that map because it is more dense. It's like you got this dense urban spot, and then you have these desert sprawls. And I think there needs to be safer passage between the different environments, the different urban cities or towns or whatever they are. And that sounds like what they're doing. I don't know if has that patch gone live?
I think it's already been rolled out.
Okay.
Yeah.
I haven't played it enough to notice. Probably at all. I don't think I've played that map enough. I played it a bit, but I don't even know if I've played that enough to notice.
The week or two that I logged back in to play it, that was literally the only map I got.
I noticed when they added some trees on the other map, I was like, this place didn't have trees before. There's a lot of trees here. Like, it's real weird, because the map's always the same. So when all of a sudden you're walking through, I'm like, have these crates always been here? It's like, this is weird.
That's awesome.
I kind of like that the map can kind of change a little bit here and there, though.
Yeah, it keeps it fresh without having to put in a whole new map.
Yeah.
Also, anti-cheat measures, they're still being tested on PC. A solution is currently in a test phase, so evidently it's still crashing
what
things.
They do.
That happens.
These cheaters suck.
And an interesting milestone, PUBG on the Xbox recently hit a player count of 4 million.
Dang.
4 million.
You know what's crazy, though? Sea of Thieves pounded that this weekend.
Really?
Sea of Thieves in closed beta pounded every other game out this weekend. Just destroyed them. So,
well, crap.
Right?
And last bit of news, Fortnite gets a mode right now. It's a timed kind of thing.
Yeah, it's an event.
Yeah, it's an event. Sorry, an event.
I
My
guess
bad.
that's what
An event.
we're calling it these days. Are events like a holiday event or this event or that event.
Sniper shootout, where basically they replace most of the game.
Everything's
guns.
snipers and revolvers.
Snipers and revolvers. Yeah.
So, which apparently this is like really fun. The problem is they only did this for squads.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you can't do single sniper shootout, which seems like that would make the most sense.
That would be the one. Yeah, like, now I don't want to play it.
Yeah, like that's kind of what I've been turned off because I haven't really played. I've only ever played duos with Fortnite. I want to play squads, but we just haven't.
It's fun in squads.
Kind of transferred everyone over to play that yet.
Yeah. We should get together. It's good.
But it seems like it's really fun, and I think the snipers, because it's not so much like, I mean, shotguns and assault rifles are what the majority of the kills come from, I think, in this game, is those early shotgun kills. And, like, this, I think, gives players maybe more opportunity. If you're not the best, most dominant Fortnite player, that might still be learning the game, just because it's obviously the fights are going to be a little more longer range and a little more hectic when you have bolt-action sniper rifles. When you accidentally sneak up on someone, you're like, oh, I got this one-shot reload sniper rifle. Oh, I guess I have 4 of them, so I'll swap between them, and then I have to reload all 4 of them.
Oh, is that how it works?
Yeah.
Really? Interesting. So you have a bunch of sniper rifles?
Well, you can still hold as many items as you can normally, except there's only sniper rifles and a revolver. So I assume people pick up a bunch of sniper rifles and a single revolver. So
that's amazing. I love that idea.
Seems pretty fun. So, and they added the chug jug recently too, I think, which is pretty cool.
Please tell me what a chug jug is.
It takes 15 seconds to swig the chug jug, or I guess chug it. Unlike the slurp juice, which you can drink very quickly and heals over time, the chug jug gives you full health and full shields no matter what.
But it takes
15 seconds, which is a long time.
Interesting.
So you gotta really hide it, camp out, and chug that chug jug. I've got a couple of them. It's cool.
That's cool.
It's so funny that you have this big thing and you're just like chugging it for so long. It's comical, kind of.
That's awesome.
I like the quirks they have to that game.
Same.
It's neat. Still figuring it out, but I got second finally.
Nice.
But the guy had high ground with the rocket, and that's just kind of
that's nothing you can do about that.
Like, it's whatever. But.
All right. Well, there is all your news that is news that was news this week.
All the news that's fit to talk about.
Well, I don't know about that.
Probably not.
Fit to argue about, debate about.
There you go.
There it is. All right. Time for some questions. We got one from Mansocks, SuperHyperMightyWepaman, and Colby.
He's evolving quickly.
And...
Hey, yo, Vinny.
Yes.
Where you at?
Thank you for...
What's cooking? Hey, yo.
It's dinner time, man. I'm hungry.
I'm hungry.
I'm starving, yeah.
Hey, yo. I've been
Y'all
eating
would
pizza.
stop arguing. Maybe we could get out of here.
Yeah.
Y'all crazy.
Time enough.
You're crazy.
All right, Vinny wants to know, in order to get back to your... Okay. Take 2. Vinny wants to know, in order to get back to your respective worlds, you and one video game character of your choosing are going on a mission in another video game character's world of your choosing. What will you two be doing in this new world? What will each of you bring to the table for this mission? Will you guys make it back to your world?
So to make that make a little bit more sense, you and Master Chief are in Gears of War land.
Okay.
Yeah.
How do you make it
so
back?
what would be a fun combination of those two?
So me and Kratos,
Of course.
yeah.
Are in Duke Nukem land.
No, we're not in Duke Nukem land. Are you kidding me? No, we're in Ori and the Blind Forest land.
Interesting.
Yes.
I think that
That's where we are.
Kratos is, what does he have, a giant axe?
No,
He has
he's
a
got the
chain,
blades, the
blades,
of Olympus.
yes.
Blades of Olympus, yeah.
Those would make quick work of those stupid
That's
little
brutal, man.
Those little spider-looking
little
things.
spider things. Yeah, like,
F them. So what will
or
we...
it'd be way easier.
Yeah. What will we be doing in this new world? Well, I'll tell you what we'll be doing. We'll be killing things.
Brutally.
Killing a lot of things.
Yeah.
And then we'll get to the quick time event where Kratos, where you have to mash a button and Kratos
Rips the eye out of
head
a Gorgon.
open. Yeah, that's what happens. And then go, roar. Or you get to the sex quick
Take
time
the
event.
one Cyclops eye.
Then there's that one.
Are you doing it with the giant poofy fat guy?
No, in God of War there is
No, I mean in Ori.
But you're in Ori land. You're not in God of War land.
Well, yeah. No, I don't know. I don't
You're
take the
getting
participants
off
on
rails
that. No. So yeah, what will each of us bring to the table for this mission? Well, Kratos, brute strength.
What do you bring to this mission, Adam?
My rapier wit. And charming good looks. Yeah. And the beard I can grow.
The beard you can grow.
It's beard on my
beautiful.
face.
And are we going to make it back? Yes.
I think Kratos would definitely
Kratos
pull
made
you
it
through
off
the
the
forest.
back of Titans, so I'm not too concerned on any mission with Kratos.
Kratos killed a god, or 5.
Yeah, all of them, I think.
I'm pretty sure he's good.
Mass murderer.
Either of you two, who are you going to team up with and do what with where for
That's
what?
a tough game. That's a tough question. Who would make a game more fun? Do you have
Me.
any? Yeah.
Me, I would.
I'm going to team up with Dylan.
Okay.
Are you in a video game, Dylan?
Yeah.
What game are you in?
All of them.
So Dylan's at all the video games. Which game are we going to play in?
That one.
I'm going to bring.
You guys should be in Gang Beasts.
I'm going to bring my Rocket League car to FIFA.
Oh, that'd be dope.
What my Rocket League car will bring is significant speed and the ability to run over opposing players. Like you've seen soccer.
Will
like
you make it out of the FIFA game alive?
Yeah, there's. Yeah. I mean,
nobody else will.
I know. I don't think that we're going to call that flopping as much as like manslaughter hit and run.
Wow.
Yeah.
I got mine.
Okay,
but have you seen the Rocket League commercial and at the little kids soccer game?
Oh, I think I have. Yeah,
where the kids are playing soccer and then one of them makes a shot on goal and this just big muscle car comes and just blocks the goal.
Yeah,
I pop every time for that. I just think it's hilarious, and it plays during WWE all the time because Rocket League's a sponsor. So like I see it and I just laugh every time. I think it's great. I want to bring one of the Twisted Metal cars to Rocket League. And I'm just going to
that would be amazing.
Oh, it's going to be so good.
I like it a lot.
Launch missiles and just...
I don't understand why they haven't...
everything.
I mean, maybe not with Twisted Metal rocket cars, but I kind of wonder why Twisted Metal cars haven't made it into Rocket League yet. Those are some cool cars. That would be fun.
Is Gravedigger in there yet?
No, I really, 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 really want a monster truck mode of Rocket League, though.
Yeah, I just think that'd be a perfect
Make the
fit.
arenas a little bit bigger or make the monster truck smaller. I don't know what the right thing for that is, but I would love to play that. Big bouncy tires. That could be a lot of fun.
Will you make it back to your world?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Vinny, for that interesting scenario, if you will. All right, up next, Colby, what game would you love and read an expanded universe of, like Mass Effect? I've honestly never read any expanded universe stuff of anything ever.
Really?
Ever.
Huh.
No, I'm pretty basic.
I don't read a lot of it. I've not read the Mass Effect books, although I hear they're terrific. I've also heard the Halo books are terrific. I think I'm a big fantasy nerd. I think I would really enjoy like Warcraft.
Are there
stuff.
Warcraft books?
There might be. I don't know. I think a lot of the Blizzard properties would be really good. Like I would love, the Overwatch comics are terrific.
Right.
I think like Diablo as kind of a horror gothic game could have some very good books set around them.
I don't know if there's any books of it, but I know that with the new Castlevania anime that popped up on Netflix this past year, it was really, really good.
I enjoyed that. I only watched the first episode.
There's only 4 episodes.
Yeah. The next 8 launch soon. I believe 8 episods of Castlevania. Yeah.
I'm like, what is the next 8?
Yeah.
Is that like since 8's just not as good spinoff?
Yeah, exactly. Okay. The Witcher is actually based off a series of books. I've not read them, but I've heard that they're quite good as well. So that
and Netflix is in talks to bring that.
Yes,
Is it Netflix?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I believe that's already been greenlit. I believe. What other games would have a cool expanded universe?
It'd be nice if Destiny would do it. Just that way we have something to go with.
Right. Garbage
It's not
story.
expanded universe. It's just universe.
And that's what I always thought about Destiny is I really would like to read a book of that because there are so many characters and there's so many cool things in that universe that I have the hardest time keeping track of.
Right.
Who is the Traveler and why does he matter?
Obviously,
and who's
story there. You see the story everywhere.
Yeah.
But what is it?
Yeah.
You don't. It's not there. It's like you can see it, but you actually don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
Like it's garbage. The story's garbage.
Any games or anything
Borderlands.
for you?
Oh,
I think it'd be interesting to kind of like all the crazy characters. Like I want their stories. Like I want to see what's going on. Like that seems cool.
For a very short while when I was playing Fallout 4, I was actually writing blog posts as my character. And like talking about the story of what I did because there's so many.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah, it was fun. I didn't do many of them, like maybe 8 or 10, but it was a cool idea of like there's so many just weird little emergent stories in there and how they would affect your character. And so I wrote like blog posts as if I was like keeping a diary of what I did in the game. It was fun.
All right. Well, thank you for that. Well, question there, Colby.
Yeah, it's good.
SuperHyperMightyWepaman.
Poof.
I think he adds different.
Oh yeah, he's
every
evolving.
week. Yeah.
All the
Yeah.
time.
Congrats on completing the first level of last week's VR game. This week's level is this. You're all back in your bodies, but you wake up in the world of the Lord of the Rings. You have to fend off a group of orcs with the first thing you see in front of your desk. Can you defeat the orcs with my ring pop? Yes, I can. One ring to rule them all.
Thank you for
It's
going
so
there. I
appropriate.
really appreciate
I think you
that.
just give them the ring and they walk away because they're orcs and they're dumb and they don't actually know what they're looking for. They just know it's a ring.
I actually just... Are you still reading the Lord of the Rings books? Yeah. Dylan and I are actually both reading Lord of the Rings right now.
That isn't... And you're still playing video games, and you have a kid and a wife, and you've got a wife, and you're sick.
I am actually reading the Lord of the Rings books to my kid.
I can't wait till you get to the parts where it's all in Elven or whatever.
Oh, God.
Or whatever they say.
They're not good. I have a paperclip in front of me and a cell phone and a laptop.
Yeah, I don't know really what I'm supposed to do here. I have my tablet.
Yeah, my desk. You know, that's a pretty good water bottle. It's got like a handle and it's made of aluminum. You might be able to take out an orc or two with that.
You've got a switch right there.
You really threw us into a bad snafu here.
Yeah,
it's not
even
good.
at my desk here in the office, I don't really have a lot of big defensive or offensive weapons. I could throw.
You could throw the Charlie Brown Christmas tree that's still up.
And I'm going to use our office mate Erica as something. We'll
just feed her,
shoot her from a catapult at an orc.
Yeah.
That's an option. I got a new potted plant today in my office, so I could throw a pot. It would be kind of comical where I like break a potted plant over an orc's head. I'll be honest. I think orcs, like you and your One Ring, you could put it on, turn invisible, and run away. Dylan and I are going to be eaten by orcs.
Yep.
Bummer.
I live. Yay. Sorry, y'all. All right. So now that I'm out alive and they're dead, Mansocks wants to know what my favorite flavor of ice cream is. Mansocks wants to know what is your favorite flavor of ice cream and follow up favorite milkshake flavor.
My favorite ice cream is mint and chip specifically.
Okay.
And that's probably actually my favorite shake flavor too. I used to live in Park City,
that's a good one.
And they had a place there called Jake's Over the Top Shakes, and they were delicious. And
from State Farm?
Yes. He works out there.
Yeah.
They were delicious and huge and cheap. And it was like the only place in Park City open after about 6:30 at night. And so very often we would say, hey, you want to go get shakes? My brother lived with me. And the
answer is always yes.
And the answer was always yes. So, and they had great mint chip shakes.
So now does ice cream, does that also include things like gelato or sorbet or anything like that? Okay. So there is, I cannot remember it now. There's a Talenti gelato that you can get in the stores.
Sure.
The chocolate fudge. I'm not going to lie when I say that at one point for probably a solid 3 to 6 months, I ate a pint of that probably every night.
Damn.
That's a good month.
That's awesome.
It was so good. Yeah, I mean, I also packed on like 35, 40 pounds.
Whatever. It was worth it.
Was it though?
Totally worth it.
But that would probably be my favorite ice cream.
See, and I was going to say,
I'm
like,
just a basic chocolate guy.
And I'm like the exact opposite. Is I like every single type of ice cream except chocolate. Chocolate is my least favorite ice cream.
I think I love just about all ice cream. I've eaten a lot of ice cream in my life. I used to eat it every single night, basically. I got that from my dad, who did the same thing when he was younger. And man, it's hard to pick one. Double fudge brownie's great.
Oh, yes.
But I really,
fish food is good too.
I loved Chubby Hubby.
Meh.
Chocolate covered peanut butter filled pretzels.
Ooh.
And it's so good.
I'm thinking of Chunky Monkey.
Yeah, not the same thing.
Chunky Monkey, blah, Chubby Hubby.
Chubby Hubby's great. And as for milkshake, I'm kind of a classic like milkshake guy. Like I like just vanilla or chocolate milkshake.
I like a chocolate malt.
But also Oreo is a classic milkshake, or cookie dough. I love cookie dough.
Well, do blizzards count?
Yeah.
Oh, the Heath Bar Crunch Blizzard.
Yeah, that's good.
I like
that's so good.
Cookie dough and brownie bits in my blizzard. That's good.
I'm a bit like for ice cream. I really like vanilla ice cream with caramel and something else in it. It's kind of how I go. And at Cold Stone, I really like birthday cake remix. It's good.
And wiggity whack on the ones and twos.
Exactly.
All right.
And when I was in Italy 2 years ago, I had the best pistachio gelato I've ever even been imagined ever. It was delicious.
Shout out to green tea ice cream.
Matcha, I do not like
green tea
matcha
ice cream
at all.
Oh, matcha's great.
Nope.
Love that stuff. It's like ice cream covered in Play-Doh.
Also, Ben and Jerry's Caramel Sutra.
Oh, yeah.
I love those core flavors, the core line of Ben & Jerry's where they just have a blob of something in the middle that's a core, and it's just a big core of caramel.
Honestly, I just like
amazing.
ice cream. Ice cream's great.
I love it.
Oh, yeah.
Frozen yogurt's great.
I'm never
Malt's good.
really,
Shake's great.
never really sad when I'm eating ice cream.
We're going to talk about this for way too long.
Yeah.
Because I'm now
Moving on.
Now I need to go get some. All right, let's wrap it up real quick with some cheap free games. If you've been following us on Facebook or Twitter or everywhere, there's this new Humble bundle out. It's the Humble Rockstar bundle.
Yeah.
Amazing.
It's pretty good.
It's pretty good.
It's
those games are
literally
top-notch.
pretty much every game Rockstar's made that isn't
Grand Theft Auto 5.
or Red Dead Redemption, which never came out on PC.
But yeah, it's literally
GTA
everything
3,
else.
4, Vice City, the Liberty
City
Stories, Manhunt,
Bully, LA
Bully.
Noire, Max Payne 1 and 2, Manhunt,
And 3.
And 3.
Yeah, it's literally every Rockstar game but Grand Theft Auto 5 or Red Dead.
I highly recommend you go to bitemepodcast.com/humble, and we will link you over to that. And if you do, unfortunately on this one, we actually won't get a cut. For some reason, they didn't give us one. But there is the Humble Bundle there that you can do. This month is still Civ 6. You have a couple days to get Civ 6. It's 2 DLCs and Owlboy. And
For $12.
For $12, which is
Civ 6 is still $60 on Steam right now.
It's crazy.
So that's a great deal, and that will actually get us $10. Someone already did that, and I would like to say thank you to whoever you are.
Thank you.
So that's all going to go back into making this podcast better.
Absolutely.
So if you buy a game, if you're thinking about buying a game on
We need
Steam,
the help.
if you're thinking about buying a game on Steam, go to one of those links on our page first, and then go buy it on Humble. They'll give you a Steam key.
Nice. All right, and then to wrap it up, PlayStation Plus games for the month of February have been announced. Yay! And I'm so glad that I'm saving, $20?
Yeah.
$30? Because I was going to buy it on Switch.
It's good. It's terrible on the Switch. Don't buy it on the Switch.
Has it been reviewed already on the Switch?
Rhyme?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's garbage.
Did it come out already?
Real bad. Yeah, about 2 months ago.
Oh.
And it's incredibly broken.
Okay.
So do not buy Rhyme on the Switch. Get it for free in PlayStation Plus.
Yes. So we've got Rhyme and Knack, not Knack 2.
No.
Ah.
Yeah.
I hear I heard it's all right.
I've heard Knack is okay.
It's a solid, not bad.
It was kind of built. Like if you've ever played any of those like early games that only really exist to kind of show you what your new fancy console can do, that's Knack.
Yeah.
I hear it's okay, but Rhyme, I loved it. It got kind of, I don't know, the reviews for it were very middle of the road, 70s, 75s, but I adored that game. It's about, let's say 6 hours long, maybe.
Okay.
The ending is beautiful, and I won't say anything more about it, but the game is fun. The puzzles are fun. It's got a little fox friend that barks at you and follows around. It's just gorgeous. Absolutely beautiful.
So there is that. There is also Spelunker HD and Mugen Soul Z, if you're still rocking the PS3. What else do we have here? Because there is another Exile's End is a Metroidvania-style 2D sci-fi platformer, and that is going to be on the Vita, which, hey, I've got the Vita, which I need to maybe charge it and play it. And then also Grand Kingdom. It's a tactical RPG. It's cross-play between the Vita and PS4.
So some good stuff. Oh, and actually there's a PS4 game this month, too. I'm sorry, PSVR game. Yeah, Starblood Arena.
Yeah, I was looking at that. It looks interesting, and it doesn't look like it would make me very, pukey.
I'm a big fan of games that don't make me pukey.
I don't like puking ever.
Apparently, The Vanishing of Ethan Carter in VR is a game that will make you pukey, so don't play it there.
Yeah, you walk around a lot.
Yeah,
is it first-person walking?
It is, and apparently it's real bad, implemented poorly. So,
well, yeah, so there is that. The PlayStation Plus games are going to be available on Tuesday, February 6th. Excuse me. Yeah, Tuesday, February 6th, yeah?
So you still got a couple days to grab January's games if you haven't grabbed them.
Oh, I need to.
Yeah.
I need to.
Yeah,
Because
the Xbox games, if you didn't grab them today, you're screwed.
Which ones?
Shoot.
Do you have to grab them?
Yes.
Okay, because see, I have a hard time trying to figure out how to work that whole system. It's like I have to start the download, and it adds it to my library that way, but then I can stop the download, and it stays in my library.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is that how you do it?
Yep. You just have to. You essentially just have to
annoying.
buy it. It's the exact same from the PlayStation Store.
You just have to. You can do it from your PC too. It's pretty easy just to sign.
Oh yeah,
in
I
the
just get it from
Microsoft
I just do
Store.
it from the PC.
I usually do it
On
from
Xbox?
PC.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, you're gonna have to show me that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's how I usually do it because it's easy. It is easier to do on the PC than it is.
Yeah,
on
so
the
just
Xbox. I
go
will
to just
give you
go
that.
to MajorNelson.com, and he always lists what they are, and then you can just click on them from there and just add them to a cart. You do have to do them one at a time on the PC, but you just do it and check out, and then,
Okay.
and if you have like the Xbox, you can set it to automatically download games that you buy, and it'll automatically download those ones. But you can turn that off on your Xbox too.
Okay, good to know. All right, that's that. There's all your free cheap games and all your news and all the everything else.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's it.
That's it. Yeah.
For this week.
Yeah.
Until next time.
Until next time, find us online at bitemepodcast.com or all the social medias at Bite Me Podcast, BYTE Me Podcast. And don't forget to subscribe to Humble Bundle Monthly before your time is up on that.
Do it.
And do it via our website, bitemepodcast.com/humble.
Yep.
Give us some money.
And I'm updating all the links there as new bundles become available, so you always will be able to get the latest bundle through that website link.
Whoop, whoop. Go Cliff.
Yeah, go Cliff.
Leave some reviews on Apple Podcast or something, maybe. Mm-hmm. That's good too. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. Until then.
Until then. Bite me.
That's good.